I can conjure it. I mean, I don't do it a lot, but ever since I was very little.
Ready, set, go.
I'm talking about being called crazy.
Oh,
right?
What you mean?
Do you hate when a man calls you this?
Child.
Right? And does it actually just end up making you even more crazy?
100%.
Right? Ladies, does getting called crazy drive you crazy?
What?
It's almost like when a guy tells you, is it that time of the month? And you're like, tried it. Absolutely tried it, right?
No.
It's so rude.
I have
one worse. Calm down.
I hate that one too.
Yeah.
Is your aunt alive? You said communicate. Okay. I wasn't sure if you were.
Oh yeah, I do that too, but she happens to be in her body still.
It's so funny. You know what's so funny is before this, I wonder what your, like, if you have, what your psychic capacity is.
Yeah, I mean, I can conjure it. I mean, I don't do it a lot, but ever since I was very little, I don't know what the term would be. I do have a capacity to hear messages or connect with people who aren't in the body. But I have found that when I go in there with support, whether it's a therapist or a loved one, it's a lot easier. And I remember, I may have shared this with you when we spoke last, but I remember one time my son, who's now 10, he was probably 3, and he was feeling a lot of feelings. And I said, hey, you want to go in there together and see what's going on in your heart? And he said, oh, I don't want to go in there. It's so scary. And I said, well, I'll go in with you. And then he said, okay. But also, I think you and I are up for the deep dive of diving into the unknown. There's a sort of constitutional type of temperament and spirit, I think. And for, the symbology of pedal to the metal, foot on the brake, I mean, that's me all the time. I'm going 100 miles an hour, and then I realize I have to stop, and the gears are grinding, but I'm like, oh, sorry I'm using this freaking metaphor with you of all people.
You should. It's totally.
Also not sorry. I'm really curious about this human condition. It's not always easy to be in these meat sacks.
I love there's like a little GIF or meme or whatever it is, and it shows somebody down on Earth in a little bubble of thoughts, like this coming to Earth thing was a lot harder than I thought it'd be. Right?
To have that muscle already kind of cooking is helpful. And I'm actually really comfortable in there. It's humans that scare me. So, it just increases my bravery. The more I know what's going on, and the more informed I am, and the more, frankly, a loving, objective person who is willing to share their advice or their...
Wait a minute. If I'm honest, I think all girls have a little bit of crazy in them. I think it's just a degree of craziness.
Yeah, and then they take our crazy over the edge.
Yeah.
If we were here, they take us here. And sometimes it's not the man that makes you a little more crazy. Sometimes it's that you haven't eaten in the last couple hours.
That time of month. Or you are pregnant with a 10-pound baby.
Okay.
The chase of the happiness thing was really trendy for like 50 years. And I think now it's for me, the chase, if there is an egoic chase, it's to stop resisting how hard it is to be human sometimes, and how beautiful it is too.
Which has so much to do with the internal work and spirituality and orientation and perception, triggers, projections, all the damn words.
But we have that even in our family with my kids. If I ask anyone how they're feeling, it's usually more than one answer.
That's interesting. Do you think that is something they're born with, or something that you've taught them? Like, have you given them the tools to tap into that, or is it sort of a modeling?
I think it's a straight up curiosity. Like, how are you feeling about that? It's the deep dive alone, facilitated by a great therapist. And then to me, the idea of couples IFS therapy, meaning this part of you can speak with this part of me.
And you can't get it wrong, because it's all part of the journey. Even the lows are able to alchemize into something beautiful. Like sometimes you need the extra low to actually have
to grind.
Kind of to get it out, to break it open.
Yeah.
So is there any kind of story around it?
Guy is almost too good. If you really like this man, he could cause you to be a little crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we've all really like him. Like,
yes.
they're just so amazing.
You don't want to lose them or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's
You like the situation.
Yeah.
Like, I've felt
That can
that
make you
type of crazy when I like somebody so much that you stare at the phone waiting
I've done, for sure.
for them to call you, and you're watching yourself do that, and you're like, God, he's making me crazy.
Or because you see how amazing he is, you assume everyone else thinks he's amazing too.
It's these other parts that are trying to come in and they try to blend, so it's really about being discerning, like, what part of me is saying this? What part needs attention? What part is this terrified part? And can I create a little distance? Like, you can do a lot of, like what you were doing and what I do. We can earn that sense of security as an adult, which is the best news, because the whole thing of you can't live your childhood over again. It's like, you can't, but there is healing available. If a non-HSP were to pick up 50 pieces of information upon walking into a room, in theory, the highly sensitive temperament picks up on 500 pieces. So it would make sense then that highly sensitives need to kind of pace ourselves and recalibrate. It doesn't take me long either. There are some nights where I'll turn to my son and my husband and I'll just say, if I don't have 6 minutes of complete silence, I'll be back in 6 minutes. I can't even be here. My head's gonna pop off emoji.
Oh my God, what is this?
Like full-blown panic attack, you mean, or?
Like unable to get out of a thought. Like I couldn't choose a good thought.
Right.
Like I was sort of like spinning.
Ruminating. The invitation for me is to be in that high capital S self, the highest self that has, as Richard Schwartz calls it, all the C's. So creative, centered, confidence, curious. So.
Does crazy know crazy?
Absolutely.
Okay,
100%.
so we know.
Just like game recognized game, crazy
Pow,
recognized
pow, 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 pow.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.